Welcome back for another semester of Cisco. I'm Mike Kent. I'm your professor for ITCC 1440 Cisco 2, and I'm going to do an orientation here of my Blackboard site, which I have set up pretty much the same way I have my Cisco 1 Blackboard site set up. So let's go over some stuff here. First of all, I want to say that this class is a lot more about hands-on and learning a lot of commands and different parts of routers and switches as far as how you configure them versus Cisco 1, which had a lot of networking theory. We're going to be much more practical in this class. I think it's more interesting. You've got to have that background you had before to understand how networking works, but this is all about how do I set up a switch more than just basic router and switch configuration. How do I set up switches with VLANs? How do I set up basic routing, static and dynamic? And lots of other interesting things that I think you're going to enjoy. Now, this class is set up as a hybrid class. And that means part of it's going to be online, part of it's going to be in person. This is a Monday, Wednesday class from 2 o'clock to 3:40 p.m. So on Mondays, we're going to be doing live Blackboard Collaborate sessions. And on Wednesdays, we're going to meet on campus in the Cisco lab and do hands-on Cisco labs from 2 o'clock to 3:40. It's a small class. It's not going to be any problem with everybody being in the lab at once. Now, that being said, let me run through the Blackboard course. So the first thing when you come in is you'll come into the announcements, and what you'll see once I have Blackboard turned on, which of course you saw when you logged into Blackboard, is this announcement right here. So looking at this announcement, you're going to pick up several things. You'll see for week 1, what you need to do is watch my orientation video. You need to take your orientation quiz until you get a 100. And then on Wednesday, January 20th at 2 p.m., we're going to do our first Blackboard Collaborate session. Now, normally we do that on Monday, but Monday, January 18th is a school holiday for Martin Luther King, so our first class day is Wednesday, January 20th, and then starting with week 2, it'll be Monday, Wednesday, Monday, Wednesday, and Mondays will be live collaborate, Wednesdays will be on campus. So let's go look at the Start Here button, which is, interestingly enough, where you should start. And let me turn off this edit mode that you don't get that button as a student. So the first thing you'll see at the top here is my first day handout, which is the course syllabus, and I have incorporated the course calendar in this. So you'll need to look at this to know what we're covering as the semester goes on. Also have a document right here about how we're going to come on campus, and this semester it's going to be a little bit different than what you saw in the fall, and I'll go over that. Cisco Networking Academy is the same as it's been before, and don't forget to set up your Sanjack email. So let's take a look at my first day handout, and the way I set up my first day handouts is page 1 is kind of the executive summary. I put all the information pretty much on page 1. Page 2 is the calendar, and then the other pages are the official Sanjack syllabus information that they require me to add. So things I want you to see here is, first of all, I want each and every one of you to succeed in this class. I'm going to work hard to teach you this material. I ask you give me the same effort. You can do it. So there's going to be terms and concepts. There's going to be something new almost every week. You've got to keep up. You've got to read the chapters and do your study guides. You need to do your packet tracer labs before you show up for in-person labs on Wednesday. If you do that, your hands-on labs are going to be a piece of cake. You're going to be able to go through them very quickly. So I highly recommend that. 3 successes to success in a college class. Show up. Read your chapters. Do your quick check review questions. Do your study guides. Participate. Ask me questions if you're not getting something. Sleep does not count. We have time to talk about other things than just Cisco 2 in this class. Bring those things up. All right, my contact information. The CIT department is now in building C15 of the central campus. That's the Davidson building, and my office is 238. Our Cisco lab is C15 225. It's on the same floor, on the same hallway. They're just the Cisco lab and the PC hardware labs are at one end of the hallway, and my office is pretty much at the end of the hallway. So doing well in this class, you need to do your study guides and do your chapter exams. Your study guides are due the day that you take the chapter exam. Do your packet tracers, like I said, before lab on Wednesday. And there are practice quizzes built into the Cisco Academy that you can do before you take the real chapter exam. So most of the chapters are going to take 1 week, but there's a couple chapters that we're going to be on for 2 weeks that have more detailed information. Grading is the same as Cisco 1. Your module exams, your module quizzes are 30% of your grade. Your final exam is 30%. Your assignment and lab work is 30%, and then there is an end of semester skills-based assessment. Now, the chapter exams are just like you've seen before. They're on the Cisco Academy, and they'll cover each chapter. And you've seen these in Cisco 1. The final exam is on the Cisco Academy. There will be a Cisco practice exam that you can take as many times. I'll have it set for like you can take it 10 times, and I highly recommend you take that several times before you take the real final. So the labs are pretty much going to be, with the exception of Chapter 4, one lab which is packet tracers, and then one lab which is hands-on. There are not many labs in Chapter 4, and they're not great, and I may cancel them, I'm not sure. But your assignments are those lab assignments, and your study guides. I will drop one study guide, your lowest study guide grade, and I will drop your lowest lab grade, and I will drop your lowest chapter exam grade. Textbook. There is no textbook for this class. You can get the Cisco Portable Command Guide, which comes in handy for Cisco's 2, 3, and 4. And I do recommend that you have a USB memory stick for this stuff. I will take roll, and you are still responsible for missed materials. Good attendance will decide borderline grades, and a tardy will be counted as an absence unless you tell me came in late. What else? Sleeping in class is optional, but not recommended. A general tip for college and your work life is habitual tardiness will annoy your professor or your boss. Annoying your professor or your boss is not recommended. Drops. The last day to drop a 16-week class for the spring at San Jacinto College is Monday, April 19th. Office hours. I will have office hours Monday, Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 1:30 and Wednesday from 5 to 6 p.m. Now, the concept of office hours is kind of obsolete, especially when you're mostly teaching online. You can call or text me 7 days a week up to about 9 o'clock at night. So, or you can email me. Now, I typically do not check my email on the weekends, so if it's something important, call me or shoot me a text message so I can go check my email as soon as I have access to it. So the materials covered, there are 10 modules, 10 chapters in Cisco 2 that we are going to be going over. So the first week, we are just going to be trying to get started, make sure everybody is in the Cisco Academy and has joined my Cisco Academy class, and you will do your orientation quiz. And then pretty much each week after that, we're going to be doing a chapter. So chapter 1 on routing concepts will be week 2. Chapter 2 will be static routing. Chapter 3 will be dynamic routing. Then we're going to get into the theory of switched networks. Chapter 5 will be the specifics of configuring switches and switched networks. We will do 2 weeks on VLANs, and then we're going to hit spring break. So that's a good stopping point to finish up the VLANs chapter before we go on to other things. When we get back from spring break, we're going to do the other major chapter, the other longer chapter in the class, which is access control list for security. And then we're going to finish up with DHCP on week 11. Week 11. And week 12, we're going to do network address translation for IP4. We don't do it for IP6 because it's not needed. And week 13, we're going to do chapter 10, which is device discovery management and maintenance. And then week 14 will be catch up, retake chapter quizzes. Week 15 will be skills-based assessment and continuing to retake chapter exams or make up missing labs. And then on week 16, you will take the Cisco final exam. Always remember, some restrictions apply. This schedule may be tweaked on how and what we do. Not available in Alaska, Hawaii, or just about any other place than Pasadena, Texas, where we're taking this class. So, be prepared to stay after class or come in early to finish hands-on labs. If it's taking you longer, you may have to plan on a little bit of extra time. That's very flexible. I can open the lab anytime I'm on campus, and I can even arrange to have my administrative assistant open up the lab or my department chair open up the lab if I am not on campus that day. So that was pages 1 and 2. This is the standard Cisco not Cisco networking, the college syllabus, and all this stuff I've pretty much gone over. And when we get down to this stuff, this was not on page 1. Student support, you can get tutoring at each campus. You can go to www.sanjac.edu/tutoring or call the tutoring center on the campus that is nearest to you. Personal health and safety, COVID. This will talk about the procedures we're doing, and I've got another document I'm going to show you about what we have to do to come on campus. Accessibility statement. If you need extra testing time or you need a translator or somebody to do sign language or anything like that, you can get in touch with the Accessibility Service Office at the Counseling Center, and they will help you out. Now, counseling services, if you just need general purpose counseling about how does financial aid work, what do I need to do to apply for graduation, you go to the counselors. If you're having a personal hardship or something's going on, you can also contact the counseling service and they can help you. They can put you in contact with the campus food bank to make sure, hey, we got a jet flying over right now, flying over my house. Let me pause the video till it goes away. There we go. I've got a pretty good environment for recording videos like this, but nothing I can do about a jet flying over. Can't put that much soundproofing on my office walls or my window. Honesty statement, don't cheat. If I catch you cheating, I'll fail you. Individual personal responsibility for computing resources. Don't forget to log out. Watch what you do. You're logging in on your student account at the school or onto Blackboard so they know it's you. And that's also about computer security. Now, emergency response. If you're on campus and there is an emergency, a campus phone, which we have one in our lab, you would dial 5555 to go straight to the campus police. You should put this telephone number, 281-476-9128, into your cell phone. That is the San Jacinto Campus Police. Now, why don't you dial 911? Because that goes to the Harris County Emergency Center, and then they have to contact the campus police. The campus police department are on the central campus, and they will get to you faster if you contact them directly. So that's why I recommend you put this telephone number in your phone. Now, I'll let you read through active shooter, medical emergencies, fire explosion, bomb threat, abuse assault. Emergency notifications. I recommend highly that you go into San Jacinto SOS and sign up for SJC Alert Me. The college will then automatically send you a robocall and a text message if something happens, like if the college closes because the main water main to the central campus breaks and there's no water. You'll get alerted. Or if there's freezing weather, or if there's 8 inches of rain and the streets are going to flood, you will get messages telling you what's going on. You'll also be told if there's an emergency situation at the campus, like, we have a situation going on at building such and such, do not leave your current building. You would get those kind of alerts. Remember to set up your Sanjak email. That's where all my announcement notifications go to whenever I send an announcement from Blackboard. That is the official email to contact me. If you use your personal email, there is a chance it will end up in my spam box and I will not get it. Class recording statement, I do not mind if you record. In fact, the live Collaborate sessions, I'm going to record them. They will only be accessible inside of our Blackboard course, and then they will be deleted at the end of the semester. Withdrawal policy, if you're going to drop this class, you have to do it on SOS. If you do not drop, I'm going to give you an FX, which means failure because you did not complete the class. Now, if you drop more than 6 classes, you can't do it anymore. So that's just a state law we have no control over. And graduation information, you can get that according to our academic calendar. I believe graduation is going to be the Friday at the end of the semester. The state legislature has a concealed carry law, and there is a campus carry law that the college has to follow. Here are some key points from that, but basically there is no open carry on campus. Concealed carry can only be done on certain places of the campus. There are parts that are marked that you cannot do that. So I'll let you look through all this additional information. But the consensus, the summarized information is on page 1, and our calendar is on page 2. So I recommend you print out pages 1 and 2 and keep page number 2 handy. All right, so what else do I have on the Start Here button? I have our COVID procedures for the spring semester. So if we look at this, the way you come on campus has changed. First of all, you still do not come on campus if you're feeling ill or you haven't been exposed to COVID. You will be able to make up your lab work. You just contact me and we'll take care of it. You know, you bring your doctor's note, all that stuff. It'll all get taken care of. Every time you come on campus, you must fill out this pre-screening at www.sanjak.edu/student-screening. I've got the link right here in this document. You must wear a mask that covers your nose and mouth at all times. All the entrances on the campus are supposed to be open now, so you're just going to drive on campus, go to the appropriate parking lot near our building, which is parking lot 15 or parking lot 11. You can only enter the Davidson building from the north entrance. You'll see the map I have down below in just a second, and there you're going to show your approval email from your student screening that has a QR code, and in green says you're approved to come on campus. And once you've shown that approval email, you will get a wristband for the day that allows you to be on campus. So our Cisco lab is C15225, and we have a general purpose lab just down the hall from that, C15231. If you took the PC hardware class, Cisco is 225. PC hardware is 227. My office is further down the hall, 228. So if we look at the campus map, you can come in from Spencer, or way down here further, it's off the map. You come in from Fairmont and come up Cunningham Drive, and then you're going to turn on Schroeder Drive, come around the corner here and park in one of these 2 parking lots. You will probably have to park in parking lot 11 because almost all of parking lot 15 has been taken up by construction. Then you're going to have to walk around the central air conditioning plant and come in where the loading dock is on C15. That is the entrance where you're going to get your wristband. Now, you could also park in parking lot 4, walk between the theater and the health science building to get to building 15, or walk through the quad, however you want to do it, but we're in building C15. So that's the COVID procedures. Take a look at that document. Make sure you're familiar with it. You know how to access the Cisco Academy. You can either access it by hitting this button right here, or you can go to www.netacad.com and log in with your Cisco ID that you had from last semester, your Cisco 1 class. Here's a little bit of information on setting up your student email. Now let's go take a look at the course content. So at the top of the course content, I'm going to have this orientation video, which you're watching now. Then right below that, you're going to take the course orientation quiz as many times as it takes to get a 100. Now, we're going to do our live sessions like I've done in previous semesters with Blackboard Collaborate Ultra. You're going to click on this. I will have a session created for that day. You'll click on it and you'll join it. You can turn on your video, you can turn on your microphone, or you can just chat. But I'll be sharing my screen and we'll be talking about the subject for the day. I do have a little cheat sheet on Blackboard Collaborate right here above it. And if you look at it, it shows you how to get into the live sessions. And if you want to watch a recording, you go to the hamburger menu on the upper left-hand side, click on it, choose recordings, pick the recording you want to watch and say watch now. All right, so all that's pretty straightforward. Now, the lectures I have for this class are under video lectures. So right now you only see 7, 8, 9, and 10. By the time you join this class, Chapter 1 will be out there, possibly Chapter 2, but I'll be filling in those other lectures as the semester goes on. The first time I taught this as an online class was in the spring. I teach this class once a year. So the second half of the semester I had to do online. So I have the second half of the lectures for this class. So I'm going to be creating the lectures for chapters 1 through 6 in short order. All right, so that is the video lectures. I have all the PowerPoints for the class out in the PowerPoints folder. You can look at those at your own leisure. You can follow along with them if you're watching my lecture. And then I have the study guides you need to turn in. So these study guides are the same as we've had before. You download the Word document, answer the questions, and then click up here on the title. Drag your completed study guide file inside of the dotted lines, and then you hit submit to send it to me for grading. Now, obviously, I'm not turning in a study guide right now, but this is all the study guides for the semester, and this is the week we'll be covering those chapters. So study guides are pretty much due when you take the chapter exam. And I'll probably turn the chapter exams on for like 4 or 5 days, so you have a range of times when you can take it. Now, that's study guides. Lab assignments, I have them broken into folders. So like chapter 1, we have some packet tracers to do. This is just to get the rust out from the first semester. And if you look at this right here, Lab 1.1, if I open that up, it says here's what you need to do. You need to do these 3 things and give me screenshots of them. Check results and give me screenshots and turn them in a Word document on Blackboard. So chapter 1, week number 2, we only have 1 lab. Now if you look at chapter 2, we have a packet tracer lab that you'll do during the week, and then on Wednesday you will do the hands-on lab. So here is the packet tracer lab. So you do these 3 packet tracers, and if you want extra credit, you do 2323 packet tracer troubleshooting static routes. So if you do these 3, you get a 100. If you do this one as well, you get a 110. And then the hands-on labs will be done on Wednesday, and you will do these in the lab, and you'll get into the routine pretty quickly on this. And I'll be there to help you. So this is an assignment where you click on the title to turn them in to Blackboard for me to grade. The hands-on ones do not work that way because you are going to be doing them in lab, so you're going to be handing me your lab sheets in lab. But that is our lab can't speak. Those are our lab assignments for the semester. Now, I've got some various handouts and links I will probably be showing you throughout the semester. As we get close to the end of the semester, we'll have the skills-based assessment, and I'll have an overview of it and probably some suggestions on packet tracers to practice to be ready for your skills-based assessment. In fact, right here, here's the skills-based assessment review. So I'm recommending you do this packet tracer, these packet tracers, this packet tracer on dynamic routing, etc., etc. So that's how you're going to get ready for this skills-based assessment. And I have an ACL workbook, which is extra material on access control lists. But so we're going to be living in the course content, and when I'm doing my live sessions, they are going to be using Blackboard Collaborate Ultra. And that is pretty much everything for the semester, and I look forward to it. It's going to be a fun semester. It's a lot more hands-on. It's a lot more about learning commands, not nearly as much theory as Cisco 1. I think you're going to find that this class is easier than Cisco 1. So as always, if you have questions, you know how to contact me. You can text me, you can call me, you can email me, or you can bring your questions to the live Collaborate sessions on Monday. That's a great time because you're probably not the only person with that question. Or you can bring your questions on Wednesday when we meet face-to-face on campus. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks a lot.